Protecting Covenant Movement.
I woke up for a minute. Go ahead. You can put it on right now.
Okay, great. What do I have? Right? How would you like to live in a country where you're afraid of speaking out? Afraid because you know you'll be targeted for political harassment, intimidation, and worse. With the events of the past couple of months, I'm becoming more and more worried about where we're headed here in the United States, and fast. Hello, this is Ron Paul. I have some very important news to tell you today regarding Campaign for Liberty's fight with the IRS. As you probably know, the IRS handed Campaign for Liberty a hefty fine and demanded we turn over sensitive contributor information on a handful of our donors. If we don't comply with the IRS's outrageous demands, we could face additional fines that could cripple Campaign for Liberty and perhaps even force us to shut our doors. So I've been asking supporters how we should respond to the IRS's legal threats against Campaign for Liberty. The great news is Campaign for Liberty supporters have made their voices heard. More than 97% of Campaign for Liberty supporters have told me to fight the IRS. Now, our attorneys are putting the finishes touches on our first legal strike against the IRS, and if I can generate enough support to fund this legal battle, we'll be launching our lawsuit in just a few weeks. I can't begin to explain how critical this is. I can only imagine how long the last vestiges of freedom in this country will survive if the IRS is allowed to go unchecked with their radical powers. The American people would simply become too afraid of their government to fight back politically. The result would be our federal government trampling on our remaining liberties at will. I think it's crucial you're kept up to date as much as possible about our impending court case with the IRS. So in just a moment, Campaign for Liberty's attorney, David Warrington, will give you a quick briefing on what we're planning. Please listen to Mr. Warrington explain the stakes involved, and please agree to take action immediately. Here's Mr. Warrington. Please hold on.
Thank you, Dr. Paul, and thank you so much for all of you and Campaign for Liberty do for the cause of freedom. I'd like to start by saying we need to get one thing clear about the IRS right off the bat. The IRS is out to silence limited government organizations like Campaign for Liberty, and it is doing everything from unlawfully disclosing conservative donor identities to targeting conservative organizations for harassment and intimidation. In fact, in recent weeks, the IRS was forced to pay $50,000 to one conservative organization for leaking the names of its donors during the 2012 election year to that organization's political arch-enemy. Other stories about the IRS targeting limited government organizations for harassment and intimidation have been all over the news for a while. Now, the IRS has brazenly informed Congress that they just simply lost all of the emails related to its unlawful targeting of limited government organizations. As an attorney who deals with the issue of emails every day, I can tell you the IRS's claim that it lost IRS employee Lois Lerner's emails just doesn't pass the smell test. You see, when corporations sue each other, during the part of the litigation called discovery, the parties are required to turn over all records that are relevant to the case, including emails. If any relevant emails are lost or destroyed, it is common practice for information technology and computer forensic professionals to recover those emails. And this is usually easily done, even if the emails were deliberately erased or destroyed. Emails are no longer stored in one place. That hasn't been the case in more than 2 decades. Today, a single email can be found on many platforms: a person's desktop computer, on their workplace network, in the cloud, and even on their cell phone, all at the same time. If it is erased from one place, it still remains on all of those other places, not to mention on all the platforms of every addressee on the email. In criminal cases, when the government wants emails that someone claims have been lost or destroyed, the government will send in the FBI. The FBI has some of the best computer forensic people in the world, and they will find those missing emails. So the IRS's claim that it lost those emails is impossible to believe. I can tell you, if any lawyer will use that excuse in court, the result will be jail time. Yet this is the nonsense they're feeding the American people, and now they're targeting Campaign for Liberty. I don't think there's any question that this is politically motivated, and it cannot be allowed to stand. As a 501c4 organization under the IRS code, all Campaign for Liberty contributor information is supposed to be confidential. This is a critical protection that must always remain intact. privacy, and liberty go hand in hand. Forcing organizations like Campaign for Liberty to publicize donor information would have an incredibly chilling effect on political speech. Many liberty-loving Americans would silence themselves for fear of becoming targets of political retribution. Yet the IRS is pointing to a rarely enforced bureaucratic rule to demand this information from Campaign for Liberty. Our lawsuit is designed to force the IRS to wipe this unconstitutional rule off its books. Dr. Paul has given me the go-ahead to launch our lawsuit, provided we can raise the resources and as many Campaign for Liberty supporters as possible pledge their support to this effort. This case is not something that will be decided overnight. The IRS is going to fight back against Campaign for Liberty's legal efforts, just like they fought investigations in Congress. And without your ongoing support, I'm afraid we simply won't have the resources necessary to take them on over the long term and win. So we need you to please affirm you're still in Campaign for Liberty's corner. Fighting back is absolutely critical, not just for Campaign for Liberty, but for the survival of our ability to petition our government and hold our politicians accountable. If we don't fight back, I shudder to think about what that could mean for the rest of our remaining freedoms. So in addition to signing your statement of support, please consider giving your most generous gift right away. In fact, if you possibly can, please agree to go above and beyond what you've done in the past. Dr. Paul has said the Campaign for Liberty supporters want us to fight back against the IRS. That's exactly what we're proposing to do as soon as we can raise the resources. The outpouring of support from Campaign for Liberty members so far has been incredible, but it's impossible to know how long this fight could go on, so we must hear from you right away. Please agree to sign your statement of support and agree to your most generous contribution today. Someone helping me will be on the line shortly. Please hold on.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Charles.
Yes, this is Charles.
Could you hear the message clearly?
Yes, I did.
Okay, as David Worthington and Dr. Paul stated, it's very important that they hear from you right away. They're ready to launch their lawsuit against the IRS, provided the Campaign for Liberty supporters understand everything that's at stake. In addition to signing your statement of support, can the Campaign for Liberty count on your financial support today to help fund this lawsuit with a contribution of $200?
Not $200, and I cannot provide a donation. Here's the situation, mister. Basically, I've exhausted my amount of donations that I've provided for the last several months to Campaign for Liberty. Not only that I provide donations to Campaign for Liberty for the past 3 to 4 years, I've also donated to other organizations for the past 3 to 4 years as well. Now, what I could do for the next few days is I can actually tell people about the situation, and I can actually help them donate to their organization as well, to this cause as well. So if you like, give me until August 4th, 2014, and I can actually donate about $25 to the cause.
25? Okay.
Yes, personally, I could donate $25.
Okay. Hold on, put that down, sir. All right, Mr. Let me get your mailing address.
That's correct.
Okay, 11 zip code.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you so much for your help, and I'll let the Campaign for Liberty know that you're going to support the fight by returning your $25 pledge in the next 3 days. And thank you again, sir.
Well, actually, I didn't say 3 days. I said by August 4th.
Okay, but they're going to send out the paper.
I already have the paperwork.
Okay, all right then. Thank you, sir.
Wait, before you hang up, are you still there? Hello? Hello? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is... Well, good morning, YouTube. This is Charles Naz, also as Dr. of Getting Here. You heard the phone call right here and there. Please support the Campaign for Liberty and their cause. We're learning about this matter at hand. They need your help. We're learning about this matter at hand with Campaign for Liberty. If you'd like, their address is P.O. Box 104, Lake Jackson, Texas 77566-014. Again, that's P.O. Box 104, Lake Jackson, Texas 77566-0104. And the name of the organization is called Campaign for Liberty. If you want more information about their about their cause, visit campaignforliberty.com. That's campaignforliberty.com. or you can visit my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Doctor of Ghetto 2. Thanks.